No, you ate them all, fatty. Hello, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Beema's Crafty Corner. My name is Els. I'm Beema. What do you want from me? Um, let's see. What are we doing? Anybody know? Oh, I do. Um, so yesterday I got a package. I did from Temu. So I can order from Temu again. There's just one little issue. The stuff is now, well, it's weird. They've changed a few things. One, this used to be you bought one pack and you got to choose, which one you wanted. Now you just buy the set. Okay. And the set is obviously more expensive. Like one of these would have been like $2. And to get all three, it's like $7, $8. So it is more expensive now to buy things from Temu. But it's not like ridiculous. I did buy one item. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. Okay, so I bought one previously, and then I bought one with the new orders. This is the previous one. And this one, I paid like $2.19 for. This one was like $3.50. Okay, so I'm kind of at a dilemma. Hi, Rose. So I'm kind of at a dilemma because if I order from Temu for resale, I have to raise my prices, and I don't like doing that. I'm kind of, people know that I'm like the cheapest, as Michelle says, the cheapest craft store in town. But in order to keep bringing you guys stuff that you can use in your journals, if I order from Temu, I will have to charge more. So I'm debating right now if I'm going to and what items I'm going to. So I'm kind of evaluating my inventory to see, like I put it in order yesterday. It was almost $100. Okay. Because I'm taking advantage of the fact that I can get the stuff right now. So I ordered in rub-ons that sell very quickly in the shop. And that, honestly, you guys buy up in the live sales. And so I was out of some of those. Now there's some things that are just cost prohibitive. There's just no way. There's the die set that I finally found after 2 years of looking. This one with all the slots and stuff. I have one of these left in the shop. That's it. And when I went to look, and I sell it for $10, I think it is $10 in the shop. But when I went to look for this, the only way to get it is through a seller that sells it for $9. So for me, get it for $9, cost me 20 cents to list it. Then it costs me a percentage on the back end when it sells. Plus they charge me for the shipping, because they do charge. It's weird. Etsy charges me to print a shipping label. So by the time I would sell this, if I sold it at the $10 and I paid $9 for it, I would not make anything. It would cost me about 26 cents to send these to people. So I'd have to raise my price. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going through and I'm evaluating what we have in the shop and what items I order from Etsy, from Temu, and trying to decide if there's enough wiggle room in the price to be able to sell it without having to up the price on Etsy. Like, do I already have enough of a creative bump, in, a cost bump in order to not have to raise the price? But that being said, I did get an order from Temu. I do have a $100 order coming in, so we will have some new items. And basically, I mean, that order is, I think there's like one new item. Everything else was like restock. So that's what we have. So we are working on the Fairy Forest Journal. Now, I did one signature off camera, and I got to be honest with you, I was kind of booking last night, so I'm almost done with it. I think I have like 2 pages left and a flip, and that one's done. So we today are going to be working on this, which is the cover, basically. So in the first days, we just we decorated this. I did add some book corners to it here, but we picked, some trims. We put in our fins. Now, these are only glued in at this point, but because we're going to sew a journal in here, it's also going to be sewn in. So then we went and we started decorating. And so we have our little thing on the front here with a little tag, which needs to, have a thing put on it. And then we have this little page that we created over here, which has an envelope with an external paper clip on it. And then it flips open. And so you have writing space and writing space and writing space and writing space and writing space, and just this little paper clip to hold it together. I'm probably going to put a Velcro on there somewhere. I just don't know where. Maybe at the top and bottom. Not sure. And then we have writing space back here. And we ran into an issue because the papers, as they are. Let me look here. Let me grab one. Yeah. They're like the half sheet. And the half sheet is not big enough for our flap. So what I did is I went in to my design studio and I opened these up. This is actually half a page, and I just expanded the crap out of it so that it will now fit these pages. We did put a little pocket here and a little journaling card, and then this is where we left off. This is from the other day, and again, I'm thinking I might put a piece of Velcro down here to hold this down, but it seems to be holding pretty good all on its own. Hi, how you doing, Michelle? But you open this up, you've got writing space here. There's a huge pocket down here. I did just put in just a small journal card. We'll probably make a bigger one to go in here. I'm not sure. We might put a pad or something in there. I don't know. And then this one. So we have 1, 2, and the back cover to finish at least today. I did do all of the final signature yesterday. And so I have a couple of pages that I printed off big. And let's see what we're going to put where. Okay, so I tried to avoid anything that I already had in here. So we have this one, which honestly would probably be just like minus this part. We have this one. Or I could make these a little bit smaller. Let's try cutting one of these and see where we're at. All right, we need a piece that is 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. Ignore my holes. 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. All right. So let's get rid of these edges first. So how's everybody today? How we doing? Hey, y'all, Rose is going to be a grandma again. She's getting one for her husband this time. A boy. Look, grandpas need, as much as they need baby girls, because let's face it, if daddy's girl is a thing, daddy's granddaughter is a thing. Let me tell you, grandpa's, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we need this to be 8 1/4 tall. So let's see where that puts us. It cuts off his head. So we're either going to cut off her head or cut off him. And I think I would rather cut off him. I could just make this smaller. Let me open up my design real quick. Maybe I can make this a little smaller. All right, we need this to be that is this one. All right, let's see. We're going to try printing this and see if we can do better on the size. I'll tell you what, when Shaylee was born, she's the one that made me grandma. I have to be completely honest. That kid could not talk. She could not walk, but boy, she knew her Pop-Pop's pin. She knew what buttons to push. And she was a big fan of BOGO. All right, so I reduced these a little bit. We're going to see if I think I got them at the right size. So we're going to see. Okay, so we're going to cut the white off of this, and then we'll try it. I'm thinking I got close. I could probably get closer if I worked at it, but... And I do all of my graphics. Somebody asked me about that. I do all of my graphics in Google Docs. They have a beautiful graphics, very easy to use graphic system in there. All right. I think we're close. So let me get rid of this. Bring this over. So now, yeah, we just need to take like 3/4 of an inch or so off this bottom piece, which preserves the deer. Perfect. I'm going to save that though. Oh my God, I am obsessed with strips right now. I am. I don't know what the deal is with me, but I am obsessed with strips of paper. It's Rose. She wears off on me. Making frou-frou stuff. I did. I put lace in things. What the hell? This is Victoria, and it is Fairy Forest and the Fairy Forest add-on. By the way, guys, I had to get out a new Blick stick. Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I needed to. All right, we're gonna give it a try and see if we can use up what's left in this damn bottle. This is just, it's my art glitter glue, so I don't want to waste it, you know? But getting it out of the bottle without using it is like, what a pain in the tuchus. All right, so on the celebrity front, I heard a nasty rumor that the Demon is going to be delivering the eulogy for the Prince of Darkness. There's word floating around that Gene Simmons might be giving the eulogy for Ozzy Osbourne. Isn't that a kick? Yeah. And then this morning, according to TMZ and a couple of other news outlets, Hulk Hogan died. Massive heart attack. He had a massive cardiac arrest, and they could not save him. And I have a story about him. Alex's biological father grew up in Sierra Vista, Nevada, Arizona. And that is where the DiBiase family is from. You remember the millionaire Ted DiBiase? He was kind of in that same era. Well, his parents were foster parents, and they used to take in quite a few kids, but all boys. And some of the boys they took in were Randy Savage, the Popoff brothers, Leaping Lenny Popoff, and like two others. But they didn't necessarily, like, these weren't necessarily foster kids, but they were foster parents. They did take some of these kids in as foster kids. But a lot of them were just like kids that grew up in the neighborhood. And there's not a lot to do in Sierra Vista, Arizona. It's out by Tombstone. You know, there's like an army base, a small town. That's about it. And so they used to all go over to the DiBiase house to hang out. And Ted DiBiase's dad taught them wrestling. And so they all grew up together. Well, when I was pregnant with Alex, we got tickets. Terry sent tickets for us to go. That's Hulk Hogan. He sent tickets for us to go to, they were having WrestleMania in Tucson. And I was about 7-8 months pregnant with Alexa. And so we were like in the second row at WrestleMania that year. And all the way down at the bottom of the arena. And as we were leaving after the event, and Terry had come out and given me a Hulky Bear for the baby because they weren't going to be around when she was born. They were going to be on the other side of the country when she was due. So he had all the guys sign a Hulky Bear, you know, those Hulkamania bears. And so I'm walking back up, and that is when that muscle in my stomach decided to give way. Because as a vocalist, my muscle developed this way. And as a pregnant person, your muscle develops this way. So something's got to give. So I was about a third of the way up the stairs when that muscle decided to give. And they came out and they brought a chair with them. And because I couldn't get up the stairs. And one of the guys was walking by and he saw my ex-husband standing there and he was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, So they came out, like 6 of them. They brought a chair with them. They set me in the chair, carried me to the top of the stairs. I was pregnant as a whale. And like all of them were like, "No, it's okay. You're fine. You're fine. This happens. It's normal. My wife did it." But yeah, they had to carry me up the stairs, which was hysterical. And so now I'm at the top of the stairs with all these wrestlers standing around me going, "You're all right. You're all right. We're here. We got you." I don't know what I want to do back here, guys. Do we want to actually cover this, or do we just want to put like an image on there? Like maybe a pocket? I don't know. Talk to me. What are we going to do? Well, he sort of, you know, he delivered me and the baby to the top of the stairs. And then when I had the baby a couple of months later, they were actually in New York. And we got all kinds of phone calls. And that was her Hulky Bear, man. That was her thing. You know, every baby has a thing. Buggy, he still has his Ubi. Dude still has Puppy. Shaylee has this cat. We used to joke that she was like Calvin and Hobbes with that thing. When she was a baby, she was a pink kitty cat. And it's about this long without the tail. It's a big head and a body. And then it has a big tail. She used to carry it by the tail. And when you'd go, "Come here, I need to change your diaper," man, she'd like, boom, boom. And she'd flip that thing behind her and lay down, and it was her pillow. And then she'd, you know, when you were done, she'd get up and she'd swing it back around. And we used to laugh. And she still has the damn thing. Dude, when he was born, I had found one of those old pound puppies, only it didn't have the puppies. So I stitched it closed, neutered her. And that was Dude's when he was born. And then Buggy, I bought him a dragon, a stuffed dragon. It was like a dragon pillow, and you turned it inside out and it turned into a castle. And he never really had any love for that thing. But we gave him a blanket. It was his blanket, his Ubi. I have an Ubi. He has an Ubi. And that's his thing. That and this stuffed dog that I've had since I was a kid, that sits in my bedroom. If he comes over to spend the night and he forgets the Ubi, he goes in there and he gets that dog. So yeah, so funny as hell. It's just that weird thing. And for Alex, she had 2. She had Hulky Bear, who basically just sat on her bed like she was like, no, it was like an idol to her. And she had this dinosaur made out of like parachute material. And I don't even want to know how many times I restuffed that thing. It's so flat. She still has it. And she's 36 years old. But I have to be honest, I still have my childhood teddy bear. And I'm 56. And I got it when I was 3. So I've had it for 53 years. and it's on my dresser. There are no safety eyes on that thing. They're just glued on. It's got initials on the bottom feet. You know, it's just weird. Some of the things we get. Now, what are we doing here? What are we going to do? So this is what we did up front. We have a little pocket and, you know, just a little thing. What are we going to do back here? We could put a big pocket, you know, like a side tuck pocket. We could just cover it. I have like some pieces like this, or, you know, like this, that we could just cover it most of the way. You still got your sock monkey? See? Let's trim this down and see what it looks like. We'll just trim, and then I'll do some, you know, some scissoring, you know, the way we do. And then we'll decide, you know. Totally screwed that up. Okay. And again, seriously, I can't even cut with a trimmer today, guys. All right, I'm going to get this white off of here, and then we'll take a look. How much do we have to trim off to get this to fit in there? Quite a bit. Okay. Well, we could start with just taking some off the bottom here. So let me get my, hold on, where's my, there they are, my fussy cut scissors. All right. All right. So we're going to go up here. I am a real fan of these edges that look torn kind of thing. So if there's like that kind of a detail on something, I'm going to cut along that line. Okay, so it's a little wide. We could yeah, I mean, I remember that mine was given to me by our landlord at the time. He was an older man. He had muscular dystrophy. And my dad and I used to pay the rent every month. In the summer, we would walk around the lake. We'd go down and I'd get a bomb pop. And then we'd walk over to their house, which was on the other side of the lake. If we'd gone the other way, it would have been closer, but I think my dad enjoyed the time, you know, because he worked a lot when I was a kid. And we would get over there, and his wife always had a washcloth ready because she knew that I'd be sticky. And he always wanted a hug. So she would have a washcloth waiting for me when I'd get there. And she would clean my hands and my face so I could go give him a hug. And I would go and give him a hug. And he was a very nice man. Very, very nice man. I think my parents paid like $100 a month in rent because part of the deal was there was a private beach there. And my dad would maintain the property. Like during the winter months, make sure that the pipes didn't burst in the rec room, you know, in the gift shop, not the gift shop, the snack bar. And, you know, make sure that the paddle boats were pulled in and all that stuff. So my parents paid, like, basically, the electricity was in the name of uh, the private beach. And so my parents basically just paid him the electric bill every month. Hi, Mary Kay. And, well, I guess there's no question. We're putting that down because I already glued it. No. So I think that's all of them. Choo-doop, choo-doop, choo-doop. All right, so we have this one with the flip. We have this one that's just, there's no flip. Then there's this one that has the double open. And we have our little pocket up front. That needs to get finished. Let's poke a hole and put it in a thing. And I'm going to put a thing on this. I got a thing for the things, But he gave me that bear one year for my birthday. And I'm sure it's not expensive, or anything. I'm relatively certain it's not like some kind of, it's not a Gund. It's just like, the cheap Kmart stuffed bear, And then for Christmas that year, my parents got me a baby this and that. And I hated dolls when I was a kid. It just wasn't my jam. And no matter how hard my parents tried. Did you know? It just wasn't my jam. And so baby this and that was naked. And her clothes went to my teddy bear. So he's wearing a baby this and that onesie. And his name is Theodore Edward. Theodore Edward Bear. Yeah, Teddy Eddie. Damn, Arlene got me hooked on this orange soda. Okay, so I'm thinking we might come in and put a flip on something, like here or something, but we'll do that later because we've already got 2 flips here. This is a flip. Could do a flip. We'll think about it. But basically, the base is done, and we're going to work on A. So here is A, and this is that lovely mulberry paper. It's not actually mulberry. It's in the style of mulberry, but it has a beautiful texture. Oh, beautiful. And then we have some dyed paper that's not too terribly screwed up. I did add an index card to this, and this paper I'm taking out, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this is very difficult to work with this. So that is why we added that. Now we have this, which is okay because it's got, it's on both sides. And then we have this, which again is not too terribly screwed up. It's a little messy, but it's not too bad. Not as bad as some pages we've had. And so this is a decent size signature. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I say between 5 and 7 is a good signature. So let's get started on this. This is the front one. And so let's take a look at what it goes up against. It's going to be right here. So it is going to go up against this page. So we have to take this into consideration when we're doing this. Okay? But it's also our first page. It's the first page of our journal. So we have to kind of think about that as well. So, what are we going to do? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. Okay. I think this, I like this. Imagination. And see, we made all these pockets and they're too wide. They have to go that way. And that's not going to work. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut this down, take these off, cut this down so that we can put it on here. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. Let's straighten this up. Oh, that one was pretty straight. Damn. I'm getting good at this, guys. And it's just the right size. Okay. And we have our candy dots, which we will glue down on here. There. And there. We're going to glue them down because, yeah, they're not going to stick that way. Or maybe they will. Where is it? Hey. There it is. Yep. It's going to stick. Let's get a dot on there. It's got a little sticky left on it. Not much. But enough to give me crap. Oh no, it's awakening. It's awakening. Okay. All right, let's get some glue on here. So I've made a decision. If you send me a video from now on from an anonymous account, and sometimes I just assume that it's, your regular email, like, not the same handle as you, like, because some people have like their Gmail just so that they can have, they can get on to YouTube. And that's like their YouTube handle, but that's not like their email, And so when I get them, sometimes I just think, that's just somebody's real name. I am not reviewing those videos anymore. If you don't put in there, hey, it's so-and-so, I'm not reviewing your video to see if I want to do that project. Okay? And I'll tell you why. Because my mind hurts. My ears hurt. I want to hunt some people down and rip their tongues out. Yeah. Beat them with my bone folder. So please, for the love of Pete, stop sending them to me like that. If you do not put your name on it, from now on, I'm not going to even look at it. Okay? I get it. You don't want to listen to her giggle for 45 minutes. I don't want to listen to her giggle for 45 minutes. But if you don't tell me who I'm, doing this for, I ain't doing it no more. Hey, Steph. Seriously. Because like last night, I got, well, it wasn't last night. It came in like a week ago. But I got this video. Look at, he didn't have a head. And it's nowhere in the package. He ain't got no head. He has a head. But he ain't got no head. So I got a video. There's one that I'll be honest with you. I have watched. It's an hour and 40 minutes long to do a simple project, and honestly, I've been watching it like 10-minute increments because if I watch it any more than that, I'm going to take a very dull spoon and scoop my ears out. Because, yeah. So last night I was sending videos to Michelle. I was like, look at this. People hate me. They hate me, exactly. So I don't know if somebody just sends it to me because they think it's funny. Let's make Els watch this. But whatever it is, stop doing that. I don't like it. Ugh. All right, so that's our first page. And that is going to go up against that. Oh, I think it's perfect. It's perfect. It works out. All right, so from here on, here we go. We're off. Hi, Tammy. Where was you yesterday? Missed you, babe. Okay, we're going to put the Flutterby on here. Whoa. Oh, yeah. I can sit here and eat like carrots all day long. I buy the petite baby carrots. I love them. They're so nummy. probably should have put something under that. I don't know. So I have this little fairy, and I just don't know where she goes. You know, I've been looking at her for days going, We have a couple of paper clips that need to go in. Well, they don't need to. We don't have to put them in if we don't want to. We have another project that I'm working on. I'm just not sure about it yet. So we need to, consider that. Is anybody working on anything? I wish that I could grow something. But the only thing that I can get to grow in my yard is cactuses, palm trees, and sagebrush. I was looking for that last night. Damn it. Washi. We need some washi. Oh. Very cool. Exchanges. Don't forget, guys, we have our quarterly swap is up. It is a washi swap. And I'm going to be very specific about this because there's been some questions. All right. So, how a washi swap works. When you're doing a washi swap, it's determined how many cards you're going to use. Okay? So you get out a playing card, which is like 2.5 by 3.5. And then you put like 18 inches, that's 1.5 feet of washi tape around the card. 1, 2, 3. As many as you can fit on one card. We're going to do 2 cards. So 18 inches of each one on the card. Alrighty. This needs a little washi. We all know how much I love my washi. Ooh. Right there on the end. I used to get excited about back to school sales when I still had kids that went to school. But my grandkids, I mean, everything's on computers for them. And my kids don't, I don't have any school age kids anymore. I don't know why, but I'm thinking there's something missing here. When in doubt, rub it out. Excuse me for a second. I have to jog out. Come on, I'm going to throw you out. He is out there. Okay. All right. Okay, let's take a look at the next page. All right, so we got this. And figure out what we're doing with this. Are we just going to decorate it and move on? We're definitely going to put a tab on it, I think. All right, what are we going to do over here? You go ahead and be quiet, Rose. You be as quiet as you want to be, baby. You're here. That's all I care about. You my friend and you're here. Are you prepared for the heat, my dear? It's going to be hotter than Hades pooch where you're at. Coming up here pretty quick. The devil's going to walk in and go, "What the hell?" We've been watching you. We know better. Did somebody call you? Because if you ran away, you know we'd be calling you. What the hell, woman? It's supposed to be ridiculously hot, guys. Like places that have never seen triple digits are going to see triple digits. You guys are going to be, there's some places that are going to be over 110. And here's the only thing I can tell you from somebody who lives in the middle of the desert, right next to Death Valley, the hottest recorded place on the planet. Here's what I will tell you. If you're outside, set up a fan. Seriously, it helps. Get a spray bottle. Set it on mist. Mist yourself, let that fan hit you. It'll bring your temperature down. Artificial sweating. Drink a lot of water. If you have like a kiddie pool or a dish pan or something like that, and you have to be outside to sit outside for whatever, because like me and Mike, like we don't smoke in the house. A lot of people are like that. They don't smoke in the house. They got to go outside. And this will work even in the house. Put your feet in some cool water. It will cool your body down. Okay? Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And I know everybody says, oh, that's not it. Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what the hell you drink, unless it's alcohol, which will dehydrate you. Everything else is still liquid. Okay? So drink what you got to drink. But in the middle, throw in a bottle of water. Okay? I keep 2 drinks on my desk. A bottle of water and my soda. And I go back and forth between the 2. The other thing is take a towel when you have that fan outside. If you can take a thin towel, like a tea towel, and get it soaking wet and just lay it over the front of the fan, that's going to cool the air coming out of the fan. Okay? You don't have to change it often, but at least it will cool you down. Also in your house, you can do the same trick in your house. Take a towel or a sheet, like a pillowcase, rip that sucker open, get it wet, lay it over the front of the fan, turn the fan on. The fan's going to blow through it. It'll cool your air down by about 10 degrees. But it's not going to last very long. But getting your air down is going to help your air conditioner work more effectively. Okay? So, basically putting that on the front of putting a wet towel on the fan, basically what you're creating is a swamp cooler. And if it gets really bad, get yourself a bag of ice, put it in a bowl, have the fan blow over the ice. Because I've lived without air conditioning in this heat. I have for many, 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 many years. It was a blessing to get a swamp cooler at one point, okay? You legitimately need to know what you can tolerate and understand your limits. I'm going with this because there's some music on some of these pages in the background. Maybe. I don't know. We might go with it. We might not. Yep. So, just be careful. That's all I'm saying, guys. Just be careful. Um, And of course, if you can, take your ass to a public building. Most, like, you can go to libraries, you can go to shopping centers, just sit and hang out, you know? Do the world's slowest grocery shop. I've done that. Spent an hour and a half grocery shopping. Ma'am, are you okay? Yes, I am. You've been in here a long time. Are you finding what you need? Yep, finding exactly what I need. I just want to read the ingredients on every single package in the store. Go the fuck away. I've done that. Just pick up 16 boxes of macaroni and cheese. No. No. Oh, this one sounds good. Monosaturated flabable. Yeah, that sounds like great. That sounds just delicious. They'd be like, lady, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. This one has Rohypnol in it. Awesome. Somebody get me some of this. Don't even pretend. You know you don't stick. Pretending it's all sticky and stuff. No, I'm tape. No, you're like the ghost tape past. You're like, you want to grow up to be tape. Literally, the translation of washi tape is not sticky tape. Go ahead, Google it. It's like literally like low sticky tape or no sticky tape. We're going to put this low sticky, no sticky tape right here. I'm going to take this piece off. I don't like it. Okay. It's rolling up on me. Why are you rolling up on me? I know, because you little. You got a little attitude there. There you go. Stick down. Okay. All right. Now we have to figure out what we want to do on this page. And I don't know. This needs some freaking ink. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody got an idea? I think I want to leave this for writing. So. here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a word on it, right? 'Cause that's an easy thing. It's a quick fix. When in doubt, slap on a word. So I have a word. I'm going to put here. Butterfly. Then, where are you? Here it is. Take this monarch. I'm going to put this little butterfly on here, and then we're just going to move on. Not entirely, because we have to make sure that this page blends with the next one because it's an overlaid page. So, Flutterby. 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 Okay, I'm going to round the corners here because these are a little bent. All right, and then we're going to put that there. I'm going to make sure that it's further enough down that it doesn't get caught on the page when it flips. You're still sweating, right? All right. So now these sort of blend, and that's not going to catch anything. Okay. Now, what are we doing on this page? We could just leave this, but what are we going to do over here? We're going to put a little pocket. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a little pocket on it. Yeah, words and pockets, words and pockets, words and pockets. Let's do this. All right, let's see. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. Okay. I have to keep track because, you know, Hover has to work. And let's be honest, we don't want to hear him bitch and complain about how slow it is. Now, we also said we were going to put a tab on here, so we got to do that too. Yeah, we could do that. That would be fun. Okay, I need to get that punch though. Right, let me get this. Let me grab that punch real quick. Okay. Oh, no, that's not going to work. That's going to be... Oh, that sucks. All right, let's go to the backup. What do we got? Paint samples, always wonderful. I like paint chips. I especially like ones that you can punch stuff out of. All right. Now, this is one and a half. Over there. Bring this over. Bring that over. Right there. Aww. No. No, that puppy out. Like, Harry's not allowed to go out to the Cataminium until it's under 100. And, like, I don't let him go out and run around for a number of reasons. Mostly because coyotes. They come down into town. We live far enough up the hill that we get the bobcats too. But they come down the hill, and we live far enough up it that they come in looking for water, you know, in the pools and stuff, in people's pools and apartment complex fountains and things like that. So, yeah. I like it. Okay. So I don't let my cat out because that's just ringing the dinner bell. Yeah. Obviously, with Ginger and Ozzy, they are big enough dogs that we have to let them out. Now, we do keep outside water, which apparently is better than inside water because they will bark to go outside just to get a drink. We don't know. But apparently outside water is 1,000 times better than inside water. And we're not exactly sure why, but, you know, according to them, Outside water is better. All right, so we have this little pocket over here now we have to deal with. And I think we're going to put this guy in there. Let's give him some ink. There, needs something. Needs something. Where is my somethings? I'll find it. It's here. I know it's here. There it is. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, as far as I know, we are still on for Brian's live sale. I just, we're working out some details. I have no idea how many items he has, so I don't know how long it's going to take. And, you know, that takes out of my schedule. And it's on a Sunday, which is it's a Hubbard day. I don't know. Even Harry, he has a bowl with, it's just a little bowl, and it's one of those auto feeders with the 2-liter bottle attached to it, you know? And Mike fills it up, and he puts it out there in the cage.
He likes it.
And he'll take like a sip of water in here, like, okay, whatever. He'll go out there and chug that. It's like, what the hell? What is with outside water that you guys... Oh, my God. Oh. Somehow, and my dogs watch me fill the jug and put it outside. Because we just fill it from a jug. Because it's a pain in the butt to reach underneath the potting cabinet and turn the water on. And they're just like, nope. Outside water's better. Okay, but you do know it's inside water, right? It all comes from the same place. No, outside water. Outside water. Outside water is definitely better. Yeah, it's probably because it's cold. The one in the basement. But that doesn't explain why they drink that hot ass water outside. Oh my God. It's weird. They're strange little creatures, man. I look at Ginger, I'm like, you know that comes from inside, right? She just like looks at me like, oh, you're crazy. This is special water. It's outside. Okay, it's just warm inside water. Maybe it's the pollen in it, or, you know, I don't know. I don't. They're just weird. They're just weird. They're just weird. There are strange children. All right, what did we get done today? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call that 5, 6, plus 2 in the journal. 8 pages. We're doing good. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Because Hubbard's about to start in about 15 minutes. All right, what do we got? So tonight we have art therapy. Yes, we have art therapy tonight. And remember, we're not doing the book anymore. We've moved away from the altered book. Now we're doing art therapy prompts. Okay, so I'm going to give you a prompt or an action to do, and then we're going to build from that. Put this out of the way real quick. Move that over. So we get more washi tape. I don't know what the hell is with all this washi tape. Who needs this much washi tape? All right, so this was last month. Last week, and it started off here. And I just drew this freehanded. I closed my eyes and just drew it. And then I went through and I filled it with I am or I can statements, positive statements. And then I watercolored in the spots in different colors. And you can see, this is what I came out with. I'm not sure exactly which direction it goes. It might go this way now. I don't know.
Ozzy, go lay down.
So we're going to be doing something similar to that tonight where we'll have, a prompt that you'll do and we'll sit here and just talk. So get out your candle, get your favorite beverage, and, we'll play. That's pretty much what it is. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning to work on this. We might get to the middle by tomorrow. And then tomorrow we have craft with me, where I think we're going to be working, making that little memory journal thingy. Or something thereabouts. I don't know. All right. So let's see what else we got. Just check the calendar here real quick, guys. So I did update the schedule. We are posting through the end of October right now. I'm on the 3rd week of October. Projects of 25 challenge. Our challenge items for this month are ink, any form of ink, dauber, marker, pen, spray, drippy, whatever, any kind of ink, and or metal. Okay. So art therapy tonight, craft with Imara, mixed media on Saturday, Sunday. We have Brian's D-Stash sale. I'm not sure. I had a tentative time of around 2 o'clock. But I think he wants to be after 5:30 Central. I'm going to find out because it's awful late to do a sale. But we'll find out. And then we have the game on Sunday morning. And on Monday, I have an 8x8 flip-flop for you. And it looks like this. So, journal. So we'll be doing that one. And what else? Next Wednesday, remember, we're going to be keeping Steffi G in our thoughts. That day, she has surgery on the 30th, so we're going to keep her in mind and make sure that we, send positive energy to her. I do have another free class coming up. This one's not until October. I'm going to try and get one in like August. Maybe a 1-day class or a 2-day class, a small class, like a small one. But this one is a 3-day. It's not a huge one, but it's going to be a fun one. And what else? Next month, we have a full schedule. There's also a greeting card coming next month because, I get requests sometimes for a greeting card. So we're doing a greeting card. I don't know which one it is, but we're doing a greeting card. I'm going to be doing a glitter project. Yeah, that hurt. It was painful. But I have to broaden my horizons. So that's it, guys. That's all we have. Remember, this week's game is a prize week. That's it. So if you're new here and I haven't offended you, give me a chance. Hit the subscribe button. Eventually I will. Yeah. I do offensive things. Let's see. Today I dropped an F-bomb. I fussy cut with large scissors. You guys get the idea. Let me see what else. If you would like to know what I've got going on as far as my schedule, free classes, things like that, if you would like some free digitals, maybe you want to support the channel, maybe you just want to be able to comment, maybe you want to join my Facebook group and see what we do over there. It's all sneaky. Shh, hush, hush. You can find links to that and everything else in the world in the description box below. So go on down there and click on it. Until I see you again, stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay well, my friends. I love you guys. Bye-bye.